Welcome back to 12 Acres. It is a rainy day here on the farm, so I thought I would do some canning today and figured I would take you guys along and show you what I'm doing. Alright, so I've got 6 pounds of carrots. I've got them all cleaned, peeled, ends cut, and I'm going to start chopping them. Now you can really cut these any size you want. You can go with larger chunks. You've got slices, smaller pieces, maybe diced. They're, not quite diced, they're a little bit bigger. You could even cut them to fit the jars and leave them as whole as possible. So it's really up to you. The process is going to be the same no matter how you cut the carrots. But you want to pack them in as tight as you can. So obviously the smaller cut they are, the easier it is to pack them in, and you can actually fit more in a jar if you've got smaller pieces. Now I wasn't sure how many jars I would be able to fill up, but my 6 pounds of carrots actually only did 8 pints. So I've got them all ready in the jars. Now these started out being warm jars, and I had the carrots soaking in warm water to take the chill off from the refrigerator. So these are all still warm, and when I add my water, what I will do is start out by just adding a tiny bit of hot water to each one, and that slowly acclimates the jar and heats it up. You don't want to shock the jar with pouring boiling water in there if it's not, super warm or hot. So I add just a little bit at a time. I'll also be adding a half a teaspoon of salt to each pint. All right, the jars are all filled and ready. Now we're just going to wipe with a clean paper towel. We just gently wipe the rims of the jars to make sure that there's nothing on the rims that would prevent it from having a good seal. Nothing to it, just making sure. And prior to all this, you want to make sure that you really take a look at your jars, make sure none of them have any chips around this top rim, because if there's a chip, it will not seal, and you don't want to find out later that your whole jar is just wasted. Alright, the lids and rings are all on. Remember, you're just going to finger tighten the rings. You don't want to crank them on too tight. They're just there to hold the lid in place during the processing cycle. Alright, they're all in the canner, ready to go. My canner is an All-American number 921 canner. It is pretty old. I've had it for many years, and it was used when I got it. Now my canner has the petcock pressure release valve, and right now it is in the open position. I will leave it in the open position and let it steam out for about 10 minutes. You can see some steam coming out of there, can't you? And after about 10 minutes, then I will flip it shut, at which point then I will start watching the gauge for it to reach 10 pounds. Alright, so now that the steam has been coming out for about 10 minutes, pretty good, I am going to go ahead and flip it shut. There we go. Now it's shut. The pressure will start building up inside, and we will begin our watch. Now, according to the Ball Blue Book of Preserving carrot pints, and I did a raw pack, so they will be processed for 25 minutes at 10 pounds pressure. So once they reach 10 pounds, that's when you start timing. All right, we are at 10 pounds pressure. So we're going to turn this down. On my stove, it's right around 4. And it should maintain close to 10. But towards the end of the processing cycle, I'll have to adjust that. So you cannot leave this while it's processing. You have to stay nearby and check on this frequently. Alright, our time is up. I have shut off the burner, and now we will allow this to just sit and naturally depressurize on its own. We don't do anything to hasten that process. I will not open that until it gets down to 0, and I will not remove the lid until it is down to 0. So that is how I can carrots. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Be subscribe and check back for more. Thanks for watching. Bye.